the freeway. Go ahead. Just trying to figure out which unit it is. I'm guessing it's the one right in the front. But yeah, you guys can get it going. Okay. Michael, this is a pursuit that started about 15 minutes ago, and the original call was for a woman who was breaking windows. And at some point, when officers or sheriff's deputies rather responded to the call, she was able to get into one of the squad cars, and then the pursuit was on. Now, the concern that the deputies have is that, of course, these units are equipped with a shotgun. So she does have a loaded shotgun in the vehicle. So that, of course, is what is most worrisome to them. Again, at this point, it is unclear how she got in the car, but it's a pursuit that has been on surface streets for most of the time until now. She just jumped on the 91 eastbound, making her way here through Bellflower. Lots of units from the LA County Sheriff's Department are in pursuit of her, as well as the airship overhead. Yeah, we're looking at speeds at almost 100 miles an hour. In fact, we're going beyond that now. Obviously, these vehicles are equipped with the latest technology. They can go really fast. They don't have a limiter on them the way some other bigger vehicles might, where it caps you out at 105 miles an hour. So at this point, really, she can go as quickly as the vehicle will allow her to, and she's weaving in and out of traffic, going into the carpool lane at times. We heard she was driving on the wrong side of the road when she was on surface streets, and now that she's on the freeway, she's got her foot on the gas and going at 100 miles an hour here on the 91 East. Yeah, it really hasn't been that long at all. We had that pursuit, I think it was maybe a week ago or so, where a CHP cruiser was stolen. And in this case, this is a cruiser belonging to the LA County Sheriff's Department. And again, when we first pulled up, I knew that the vehicle was the sheriff's deputy's car, so all I had to do was pan across the vehicles till I got to the very front, because what we're seeing here is other deputy vehicles directly behind her, and so you've just got a line of patrol units, so anyone who is on the 91 freeway here wouldn't know which car deputies are in pursuit of, because she's just out here on her own. But it looks like they may be going into tracking mode, because I'm not seeing any of those units directly behind her now. They still are here, though. They're just trailing back a little bit more. The thought process behind that is that hopefully she'll think that she's no longer being pursued and will start to slow down. But again, it's unclear what her mindset may be. Again, the original call was that this woman was breaking windows, so sheriff's deputies responded to the call, and somehow, some way, she got in the car and off she went. Yeah, we're 91 east here, coming through Cerritos now, so in terms of freeways, your nearest freeway is going to be the 605. So 91, 605, continuing east. Yeah, at this point it's not working, Michael, and we've covered a lot of trajectory here on the 91 freeway. We're all the way in Orange County now. So she is at the 91 and the 5 now in the Fullerton area, continuing eastbound here on the 91. And so her next freeway after this will be the 57, followed by the 55, and eventually we'll end up in Corona. So this pursuit actually started in the Compton Carson area. So if she follows any of the other things that we've normally seen in other pursuits where drivers tend to return to an area that is familiar to them, she's going to want to hang a U-turn at some point and make her way back west. But for now, she's in Orange County. Again, she's now entering Anaheim here on the eastbound 91 freeway, coming up to Brookhurst. And just looking at the vehicle itself, the windows, of course, on the vehicles are tinted on these squad cars, so it's really difficult to see inside. But again, we just have a description. Oh, she may be slowing down a little bit. Yeah, so slowing down a little bit, unclear why. I think it's just because she got a little bit of traffic. And we now see that there are 2 units of the Sheriff's Department back in pursuit, relatively close to her, though not as close as they have been during this chase. Yeah, we were literally felt like we were in Cerritos 3 minutes ago, but now we're all the way in Anaheim because of the speeds that this woman is traveling at. You see them there. She's more than 100 miles an hour in a sheriff's squad car. And I'm glad you mentioned CHP a moment ago, because I am hearing talks that the CHP can take over this pursuit, because since it has been on the freeway now for a good chunk of time, they're best equipped to follow a vehicle on the highway, since they are the police of our freeway systems here in California. So the CHP has been notified. They're being asked to take over if they can, because the units that are still behind her are sheriff's units from LA County, but we're now in Orange County. She seems to be moving over to perhaps try to exit here in the Anaheim area, but again, where we're at is going to be the eastbound 91 freeway at Raymond. So next freeway coming up is the 57. If she stays in the lane that she's in, it's either going to force her off or make her transition to the 57. So let's see what she does. Looks like she's going to be exiting. So exiting, I believe this is going to be the Raymond exit for the eastbound 91 freeway. We're in Fullerton. Yeah, anyone who's looking at this vehicle in the rearview mirror likely thinks it's a squad car, or which it is, but there's a police officer behind the wheel, and in fact, there's not. And the woman who took this car was originally wanted for breaking windows, so deputies responded to the call, a routine call really, but at some point she was able to jump into the vehicle and she took off. It was a pursuit that was first on surface streets in the Carson Compton area and is now on surface streets here in the Fullerton area. She just made that turn onto Orange Grove, and Orange Grove runs parallel to the 91 freeway just on the north side of it. So she's in the area of Orange, Thorpe, and Raymond in Fullerton. Yeah, she just made that turn onto Lemon. This is going to take her back in the direction of the 91 freeway. But getting back to your point, the Fullerton area in and of itself at this time of the day is always very busy. And as you said, it's the 2 o'clock hour, so school will be letting out here shortly. But I'm hoping she jumps on back on the freeway, because her chance to get back on the freeway is coming up very soon. If she stays in the right lane, she can get back on the 91 West. So let's see if she does that, because this is actually a pursuit that started in the Compton-Carson area. So if she has any intent of going back that way, she should have turned right there, and she didn't. So at this point, it looks like she's going to have to stick on to surface streets. I don't know if she just didn't realize what she was doing, and now wrong side of the road here for just a moment. Oh, she's going to cut off that truck. Let's see what she does. Trying to squeeze by. I don't think she's on the road. I think she's actually on like a little driveway for this complex. Let's see where she pops out. There she goes. So now she's back on the road, again, in the area of Fullerton, just off of the 91 freeway and Lemon Street. Yeah, so she's in a commercial area of Fullerton, and this is just off of the 91 freeway. We're just on the south side of it. You can see that there's a lot of work vehicles here in the area. I am hearing that they want the deputies who are on scene to try to box her in. So that's going to be the goal here, is to try to box her in so that she can't be able to proceed. No talk of doing anything like a spike strip or a pit maneuver, but they definitely want to box her in. There's a civilian. We need that person to get out of the way. Hopefully she just drives herself into a dead end, and that'll help the deputies in this situation. She's clearly lost, trying to figure out how to get out of this industrial complex here in Fullerton. Yeah, hopefully this is what brings things to an end. You see that deputy trying to get right on the bumper, trying to box her in, but you can see that this is an industrial area, a commercial business of some sort, and these units are trying to come at her from all directions. Again, they've been authorized to box her in. This may be their chance. So now it looks like the deputy is actually going to try somewhat of a pit maneuver there, but she was able to drive out of it. But she is slowing down. Here you go. Now they're trying to box her in. Let me widen out a little bit. You see the deputies with their guns drawn. We have no information to lead us to believe that she is armed in any way. We were just told that she was breaking windows with some sort of stick. That was the only weapon that she had. So deputies are trying to get out of each other's way at this point because it does create a crossfire situation. But she's still trying to squeeze here through the units, but she's not going to be able to go anywhere. They're moving the units that much closer, so she is definitely stuck at this point. The driver's side door, though, is still accessible, so she'll be able to get out of the driver's side if she decides to comply. Again, where we're at. Yeah, so that unit moved on its own, as you said, because I think that the other two units that are next to her already have her sandwiched in, so that unit didn't need to be there anymore. Again, it's for a crossfire situation, so that's really what they're trying to watch out for at this point. Since you had units coming from all directions, they wanted to make sure that the officers weren't going to be pointing their guns at each other. So that's the situation that we have now. Because this is still a developing situation with the weapons drawn, we're just going to widen out the shot just a little bit and continue to monitor the scanner and our shot to see if this woman finally complies. Correct, yeah, that was the only thing that she had on her person, but within the vehicle, as you said, there was a shotgun. Again, it is supposed to be secure, so she shouldn't have been able to access it, but you see the deputies approaching her now, door opening. I'm hearing that they're making contact with her, and I'm seeing that they are throwing her to the ground. So I feel a little bit more comfortable. I'm going to zoom in here. You see this team of officers is trying to handcuff her, and hopefully she just complies, and that'll be the end of this. Although it could have been so much worse. At the speeds that she was traveling at, not only on the freeway, but on surface streets, to have this end without a collision of any kind is an absolute miracle, and fortunately, with one person in custody here in the Fullerton area. Yeah, we're essentially just off of the 91 freeway and Lemon Street, closer to the eastbound side of the freeway. So a big industrial complex, and it clearly seemed that she did not know where she was going and just drove herself into a dead end. And that's exactly what the deputies were hoping for, because they had been authorized very early on to box her in, and that's exactly what brought things to an end. That's correct. So you'll notice that it's a female officer that is searching her because the driver was a woman. And so they're just making sure that there's nothing on her person that could possibly harm any of the deputies. And just interesting to note, she is wearing a shirt that says security on it. So it's unclear if she was employed as a security officer in any way, or if that's just what she was wearing today when she was breaking windows allegedly in the area of Carson, Compton Sheriff's jurisdiction, when she somehow got into one of their patrol units and took off on this high-speed chase. Yes, we believe that was in fact a deputy who was responding to that original call of a woman breaking windows. And what's still unclear is how she got into the unit and then was able to take off.